Today we're at Sweetwater checking out the new V-Stage from Roland. There are a few ways to approach the V-Stage. If you're a live musician that wants a keyboard that would do all of the heavy lifting for piano, organ, electric piano, and synth sounds, and not worry about any preparation or learning curve to get a great sound and fit perfect in the band. Maybe you're a person that just likes to play off the cuff and you don't really know exactly what's going to happen because you want to be spontaneous. That's really great because then you're just really leaving the inspiration wide open to really kind of play off the other musicians. The other one is that maybe you want to organize everything. So you have all your sounds, your splits, your layers, all your setups. Maybe you can have a bunch of chained setups to where you can go from one sound to the next, like in an ideal set list situation. Of course you can have that. Each of the four sections, the organ, piano, electric piano, and the synth, have immediate editing from the front panel. And there's also some super deep tweaking from the menu if you really want to get detailed with the sound. It's also an amazing controller. Simple and perfect. Feels great, super functional, sounds completely amazing, and always delivers everything that you want from a crazy high professional level. You can decide which V-Stage model is best for you, an 88 weighted action or a 76 keys with waterfall keys. So if you're more of an organ player, you might want to look at the 76. If you're a piano player that wants the weighted action, the 88 is probably the move for you. The V-Stage is separated into four independent sections. You have the organ section, you have acoustic piano, electric piano, and a synthesizer section. There's two parts to the synthesizer section, so you have a A and B aspect with the synthesizers, and each of these sections are completely controllable from the front panel, which is awesome. No learning curve. You can just dive right in, turn it on, and play. This is really a performer's dream. Each section has a simple on and off button. So you turn it on, and it's playing. It's so easy. And it's the red button, so it's very easy to see the difference between the on button and the other parameter controls because they're a different color. And you can actually change the lighting. You can dim the LEDs if you want. You can also dim the main menu if you want. So that's really cool. It's great for live. We've really kind of covered all of the bases for the live musician. The menu tells you everything what's happening on the keyboard. It's easy to see everything at a glance. When we talk about what a preset scene is, by the way, there's 512 of these. A preset, a scene is all of the parameters, all of the settings, all of the sounds, all of the effects, that's all combined into what we call a scene. Oh, speaking of effects, there's an independent total effects with reverb, delay, and another multi-effects aspect, and EQ and compression. So you can not only have independent EQs for each part, but you also have a total effects. So everything combined going out of the main output can go through this total effect. So if you want a little extra bump with some compression, or you want a little bit more EQ on the output side, that's great. There's also some really cool templates for EQ and compression. But you know, the reality for me is that each of these individual sections, they just sound good all the time. So I don't even really change that much with all the scenes. Plays so real. The action is amazing. So first of all, I'm having a wonderful time playing. The sound is incredible. The stereo spread is amazing. You know, it's so wide, it's really beautiful. Now, so in this piano section, there's also a piano designer. So it's one thing to have really cool preset sounds, right? And that's immediate and great. But let's say that you want a very specific type of piano sound. Okay, so you have all of these different these piano designer, you know, it's borrowed from our V piano technology, and you have things like key off resonance, cabinet resonance, soundboard, damper, key noise, brightness, stereo width. Sometimes you may want the piano, if you're going stereo in a concert hall or whatever, that you want it nice and wide. What if you're just bringing this with just an amplifier, one amplifier? Maybe you want it to be a little bit more narrow so it's kind of punching down the middle. So you have all of that, and all of these capabilities are all savable, which is so nice, you know. just love the extra detail that we go to. You know, so it's going to be, you're going to find a great preset, and then if you want that exact vibe, you know, that exact feeling, you can easily get that. So let's talk a little bit about the piano presets. There's so many great sounding pianos. So if you go here to the menu list, and then you have all these different categories. Okay, so you have the grand piano categories, and you can set up your favorites. We got, of course, the German concert, the V stage piano. So nice. Really beautiful, warm type pianos. Studio piano. You know, like it's got that brightness, you know, kind of like what a C7 might have or something like that. You also got some really bright rock pianos. It's really nice. So got a lot of power. So no matter what kind of style that you're playing, it really covers it all. Now, what if you wanted to really go into, let's look at this German concert, which is really nice. Let's go look into the piano designer just a little bit more. Now, I can actually tune. I have all of the settings, you know, like the string resonance, the body type, but I could also tune it, every note, just like all the V piano technology. Really, really cool, very involved, but easy. That's what's great about it. So you just have so many different aspects that you can just dial in your perfect piano. And that's really what we want to get. We want to be happy as players. Every time you play a Roland instrument, we want you to just to be filled with a lot of excitement and to just play what you want to play from your heart. So that's the piano section. Let's go over to the organ section. Now, of course, one of the great features is that, of course, you see the drawbars. You got all the drawbars. Sounds incredible. The drawbars really, for the organ players, you really want to be able to have that flexibility. You have all of the settings that you're going to need all on the front panel. You have the tone wheel technology that we've had for a little bit, but we have a brand new rotary, which is awesome. And there's a brand new saturation. So if you really want to put a little hair on that organ sound, you really can. The rotary sounds just amazing. And remember that you can add, you have all of the percussion settings, all of the vibrato and chorus, the overdrive, and we have a couple of different organ types. You know, you got your tone wheel type that I was just playing for you. We also have some cool like transistor organs, like some. So you got all that kind of stuff, and there's also pipe organ. Really nice. It's so authentic, and it's real. You can also set the drawbars to go into manual mode, so you can, no matter what your preset is, you know, whatever you see lit for the drawbars is what you're going to get and play. I usually kind of keep it in manual mode, you know, so I can see what's happening. I just play I just look at my all of my main settings here, and I'm good to go. There's total polyphony with the organ, so you never run out of polyphony. When you're playing a sound and you want to change scenes, it seamlessly goes to the next scene without losing anything. So I change scenes, so I still have all of that polyphony, Don't have to worry about your sustain pedal, lifting off your sustain pedal to save polyphony. And it's the same thing with the piano part, with the V piano, which we've never had that before. Just because we've kind of bumping up all of the power in all of the different sections. And that was one of the things that we found to be a really important thing, was that if you're playing piano and you're wailing and you got your sustain pedal down, you don't have to worry about any polyphony issues. Aside from the new German piano and all of the other incredible V piano types, pop pianos and rock pianos, we have some amazing uprights. So you can switch right here to the different pianos, which is nice. So there's some incredible uprights. And it kind of gives you that little bit more of a, maybe like a recital, or even in your living room or whatever. It just kind of has that cool, kind of warm feeling of an upright. So not only do we have these types of like this upright, but we also have some felt uprights, so that we've kind of softened up the hammers and things like that. So it sounds really, really beautiful. It's so nice. And then if you wanted to layer a sound, right now we're just playing the individual sections. But when you start layering, like for instance, I have this felt piano. What if I brought in something from the synth side? So you really start to see how this is now working here with the V stage. You just turn on a section and you go. So between the new German Grand and the felt pianos, such a great addition to our piano collections. Okay, let's run over to the electric piano side. I love the new EPs here. Unbelievable. And we have a new thing. The new technology it's called the enhanced supernatural electric pianos. Every type of electric piano we have here. We have like more of a something like that, or we got like a very cool whirly. And some really typical Roland SA electric pianos. And also some cool clavs, you know. Super cool. So here on the front panel, you can go into all the different categories, but then you have many different options once you jump into these categories. So you can see I have a bunch of different clavinet types, a bunch of SA types, you can see that. And I have a favorite. The favorites are they have a little star there. So you can tell which ones that you really, really, like that's your main go-to in that category. And the whirly types, and also some really, really cool kind of real old school electric pianos. The silver top is amazing. Something with a little bit more bell. This is a little bit more of my favorites. Is this the 79? It's got a little bit more bite, so you can kind of, you know, you can play a little bit more, you know, for on the solo side. So no matter what type of sound or feel or groove that you want to play, you can easily go in and select the perfect electric piano. One thing that I like is you start to, one thing that I really like is that you start to layer the sounds. So again, I'll take this electric piano, maybe I'll add another synth sound. It's super cool. You know, it's just a lot of fun. Now, and also in the electric piano side, I have all of the different models for tremolo. You know, there's a different model of tremolo for older vintage electric pianos and maybe like whirlies. You know, so you have a different types, different shapes. So we have all of that here. We have like the suitcase, the whirly, and the Roland pianos, as far as the tremolo is concerned. Also, we have amp simulation, which is nice, and there's a multi-effects in the electric piano section. Very, very cool. And again, all of that stuff is separate from the total effects. So you have so much to choose from to really make the sound incredible. Okay, let's go to the synth section. Now, there's two parts to the synth section. There's an A section and a B section. You turn it on, and then you have the A and B. So now they're both on, as you can see. Okay, so for instance, if I wanted to, now we're just listening to the A section. And in this synth section, you have some envelope control. So you have filter and envelope, attack, you know, attack and release. So if I got this kind of this plucky sound. By the way, everything that you have going on here, you can see in the front menu. And then you can see the split point as well. Very, very cool. So I have this really cool pluck sound, and I'm tweaking the filter. And if I wanted to kind of shorten the release, easy done. Okay, so you can do like little mini fades like that. It's really nice. Also, you have a nice attack there. So if you wanted to make it real short or kind of delay, all of a sudden this pluck sound very easily becomes a nice pad. And you also have, on every section, you have octave buttons. So like right now, this is a little low for me. So if I just pump this up, the octave works great. What if I wanted to take the synth sound and layer it with the electric piano sound? And notice how easily I'm going and mixing everything, because I have level controls for each section, which is really nice. So you're constantly playing, you're constantly engaged, which is it's so great. And it allows you to be a part of the band and really be, you know, kind of connected with everybody, and you're dialing in your sounds. You're not stuck with any preset, you know, type sound where everything is just one level and you just kind of have to go with that. So I love the flexibility, the real-time flexibility. There's a lot of synth sounds, from strings, pads, leads, basses, poly keyboards, so much more. But there's also, you can get downloadable model expansions from the Roland Cloud. You get for free when you buy the V-Stage. You get the Juno 106, the SH 101, the JX8P, and the Jupiter 8 free. So you got a lot of cool synthesizers. But you can also go visit the cloud and download any of those and just load them in, and you're so good on the synth side. Okay, so let's take a little bit of a deep dive into customizing the sounds. The thing that I like, for instance, if I wanted to go into, let's go a little bit more into the organ. Okay, let's take a look at the organ. And let's go into the menu here. Choose the organ, and then go in and edit. Look, you can determine what type of tone wheel you want. You want a tone wheel, a transistor, the type of organ sound, the type, vintage type, 1, 2, clean, all kinds of different settings, all the vibrato chorus settings, leakage amount, which is kind of, so if you want the organ sound to be a little bit dirty, right now it's pretty clean, there's no leakage. You start to hear all that grit, So it really captures all of those beautiful inconsistencies from an organ. You also have, when you hit the key, you get the click. And you also have off, when you release, you get an off click. All of these cool little elements that you can just bring to the organ sound. You also have all the percussion settings. You have all of the overdrive, the saturation, which is nice, amp simulation. So you can see all of the extra little things that you can bring here. But you have a little extra hair, and I love that the on-off button is right there. So sometimes you may want to you're ripping something, maybe that rip you want it to be a little soft. And then you can bring up that saturation either from maybe a pedal or something like that. You have all kinds of different combinations that I just think is really, really great. You have all the rotary settings. Look at it, it's just a plethora of things that you can just tweak and make it perfect for whatever you want. So you have all the rotary settings. Got some cool ring mod stuff. Now the rotary, it's a brand new rotary. There is how fast it's going to go from the slow rotation to the fast rotation, and how fast that's going to be. All of that stuff is completely customizable. I love the ring mod. Ring mod's incredible. So when you're in your prog rock band and you need to do something pretty gnarly, you can go there with the ring mod. So you can have your delay settings at a specific millisecond setting, or if you want to just sync it up, so if you're going to a particular track in your DAW and you have a particular BPM or that you really a rhythmic value that you want to set that to, it's awesome. So doable, so easy. Reverb settings. It's just amazing. It's fun. Now that's the organ part. The deep editing works for every section. Let's take a look at what's going on with the electric pianos. Okay, so if we go to that section, I absolutely love this because I really like my electric pianos to really kind of have a nice brightness to it, and also it kind of just pokes pretty hard. So I like to increase the bell. Here's it's extremely off. And it starts to have that little zing there. You can detune it as well. I like the sound lift to give it a little bit more pump, and some key off resonance, which is nice. A little bit of noise, all this cool stuff. Check out this is kind of nice. If you really want a real vintage type sound, you could crank the hum noise, so it's quiet when I'm not playing. But when I'm playing, you get that hum, which is nice. So that's really cool. Love that. Just all of these little aspects, you know, and again, each part has its own MFX setting, EQ, which is great, a part EQ. So maybe you want to bump a little bit. You know, in a couple of areas, give it a little punch. All of a sudden, that Rhodes now is biting really hard, and you're really having fun. Love the electric pianos. Now let's go over to the synth section and let's take a look at that. Now you can see that, you know, of course you have the A/B section here for the synth, but in the editor section you have the two different synth sections, and you can go into all of the filter settings. Most of that stuff you can all do here. Remember, everything that's in the editing, the deep editing, 80% of it you can do on the front panel immediately. So that's just incredible. Very quick. Super, it's really easy to customize your sounds. There's a really cool feature with the scenes that we've never had before that is so useful. It's great for when you're like maybe in the studio, you're working on something and you're getting ready to record, you do a bunch of changes and you don't need to write anything. It will remember everything that you do. It's completely even if you power off, it will remember. And we call this the EX scenes. And what that does, you can see I have 8 scenes. So I can do all kinds of tweaking. Let's say I'm getting directions from the MD or something. And I make all these changes. And you don't have time to name the sound, save the sound, know where it's located. You don't have to worry about that. What you can do, you just tweak, and that sound stays in these locations. Tweak, go to the different location, tweak. Unbelievably convenient. Absolutely love this feature. And then even if you turn it off and turn it back on, all that stuff is going to remain there. So if you think about it, that's a really good thing when you're doing rehearsals. You're tweaking everything. You may not even go to the other scenes. You might live in this area for the whole rehearsal, the whole gig. You know, it just always stays. Whatever was the last thing you touched is where it stays. Everything. Very, very cool. Of course, you have all of the different sections, the organ, the synth, the acoustic piano, and the electric piano. But, you know, let's do a little bit of layering. When you start thinking about layering sounds, all of these different sections and kind of adding them and combining them, splitting the keyboard and doing all of these different cool performance aspects, this is where it really shines, in my opinion. So let's take this amazing electric piano sound. Pretty dry, pretty tame, not a lot of effect on it. But let's add some delay. Okay, now you have all the different delay settings here. I got the amount here, and I have the time. So I can tempo sync it if I want, or tempo sync it to my DAW, or have a specific millisecond timing, and then I can have the feedback. Really beautiful. Okay, so now let's start to add some things. Let's take a look at the synth section now. And you can see right on the front panel what the sound is, so it makes it really easy. But let's say I got this synth sound, and I want to change it to something. And I don't want to go in and look through the whole list of synth sounds, because there's a lot of them. What I have here is that I can have my favorites right here at this tone select button, which is so convenient. So maybe I'll pick my lead sound. I'm right there, so I can rip right away. Now, again, you got immediate level controls. You also have envelope stuff. So that lead sound now can become anything else that I really want. It could be a nice pad. It could be have a lot of punch. It could have a lot of sustain. It could just be whatever I want. So you have those controls here. Okay, so let's add to this really nice electric piano sound with a little bit of delay on it. Let's start to layer a synth sound. So when I go to the synth section, I can turn it on and I can see what is on right from the front panel, the menu, and it says that I have the Juno strings. Now I may want that, or I may want something else. Now I can have my favorites assigned to this tone select knob, my favorite sounds, and I can easily access. Maybe I wanted a bell sound with this, with the electric piano. And I don't have to go in and search through the multitude of synth sounds. I can just go and I pick my favorites that I'm going to use all the time, and that's what I can just grab at a moment. So like, for instance, if I wanted this beautiful pad here, so nice. And, you know, remember that the everything that I'm playing will go out of the total effects. So all of these sounds can go out of the total effect. Really nice, super easy. And then if I wanted to maybe add, let's try this. Let's take that same pad and then we're just going to go over and layer it with the acoustic piano. Or maybe even go to the organ. One of the things that I really like to do, since we have this drawbar control, I like to kind of use the organ sound as maybe a little bit of a synth, kind of an added texture. You know, so like, I got this synth sound, which is nice, but maybe I want to, I'll turn the organ off, but maybe I want to just add some frequency. To that synth sound, which I think is really, really nice. Sometimes it's very subtle. If I want a little more body, add a little electric piano to that. Just a touch of that electric piano to give it maybe more of an attack, but now I have this really wide spectrum of sound. I got that kind of like that organ sound that's kind of moving, you know, in a really kind of a still way that's nice. And of course you got the angel voices, you know, that really just kind of round everything off really nicely. Some other really cool features is that there's a mic input that you just plug in your mic. You have some compression settings for the mics, the mic stuff that's really great. Again, you have those EX scenes, great for rehearsals. Stay on no matter what. No writing, no worries. Just tweak, play, go to the next one. You also have the total effects, and that's an additional set of MFX, delay, and reverb, in addition to the all of the part effects and all of the part EQs. You got some really good, amazing reverbs. We got the new shimmer reverb that's so nice. It really adds a lot of color to the sound. Okay, let's talk just a little bit about the system settings. Normally people get really sort of afraid of diving into the system settings because there's a lot, you know. But if we made that a lot easier to access, people would start to really utilize the keyboard and make it perfect for them. And that's what we really want to do. So let's go into the system settings here. Right here, if you look here, you can set up all of your pedals, all of your pedal arrangements, what you're going to send out of each pedal. You have 4 different pedal jacks. You have a damper and 3 other pedals. So you can immediately see what is going to each pedal, to each part. So like right here, pedal 1, okay? You can see that, first of all, you can set the polarity, which is nice. The first pedal is expression. And for the organ, it's off. I can turn it to different parts, all kinds. I can set the different settings all to that pedal. That's really great, really easy. Same with the piano. I can set anything I want to the pedal. So if you want to play that pedal game, then which is really kind of takes you to another level, then you really have immediate access to everything, which I absolutely love. And then you can go in the other aspects. These are all the pedal settings. Now, the other thing is pitch. A lot of people don't really play with these because they just don't really dive that deep into it. But if it's easy, you can start setting all kinds of cool things to the mod wheel. Of course, you got the brake and the rotary speed here, the big buttons. So when you're playing the organ, you really have access to everything immediately. Very, very cool. You also have the brake parameters. In other words, it's just the shortcut to get into the system and to really make this thing sing for you. That's what I really, really like about how the access to everything is. Again, remember, everything is about getting access immediately, because we just assume that you're going to put this on your keyboard stand, in the bandstand, and just play. No preparation, really. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of the other menus. All your different mic settings, the outputs, sub out, main out, and we'll talk about that in a minute. All of your scene settings, very, very cool stuff. You also notice here when I go into assign, that looks very similar to this menu right here. So this menu, the button that I pushed to show all of the assignments, that's really the shortcut to getting into this main menu about the system. Total effects. You can set what you want this multi-effects to be. Very, very cool, very easy. You can set what you want the delay settings to be. You have all kinds of delay settings and chorus settings. And also reverb. A lot of different reverbs. Remember, we've got this new shimmer that's so nice. It's so sweet. It's so long. But the thing that I really love about the shimmer is that you start to use it. And here this is just the piano. Let's get okay, so I just have the shimmer reverb now. Listen to that, what it's doing. So beautiful, so beautiful. It's just such a nice texture to have. That it's almost like having a synth parameter. It's almost like a synth that really behaves so wonderful, especially if you start layering tonality over that. So if I'm holding the pedal and I do something like, I play a totally different tonality and they're both kind of hanging. It's so nice, so useful. When you think of this keyboard, you think of it's like, okay, it's a powerhouse, but that there's just basic sections. There's just 4 sections. But the reality is that there's so much cool sound design that you can make happen just by adding a little of this, little of that, maybe the shimmer reverb, adjusting some of the envelope stuff with the synthesizers. tweaking the organ sound. So maybe you're just getting a couple of frequencies, a couple of the drawbars, just to add a little something. So it's like you're really like an orchestrator, or a chef, where you're just making amazing sound. So again, it's not just the bare bones. It's really, really some super delicate, detailed stuff you can get going on with the V-Stage. Absolutely love it. And you export functions, export scenes, export all of your backup data. Very, very cool, super useful. Okay, let's take a look at the back panel. Okay, so you have XLR and quarter-inch balanced main outputs. You have quarter-inch balanced sub-outputs, XLR and quarter-inch input. There's USB-C output, and that consists of 9 stereo pair outputs. So you have a pair for the main outs, you have a pair for the sub-out, you have a pair for the organ, piano, EP, synth, A&B, line-in, and mic. So all of these are all separate going out USB. Very, very cool, very convenient. You also have USB memory, so for memory backup of your data. And you have 2 external USB power device ports. So if you want to plug in something like maybe a drum pad or another device, it's going to be able to power it up. Very cool. There's also traditional MIDI in, out, and through. There's also 4 pedal control inputs. So 1 for sustain, and other 3 as you wish, either volume pedals or EV type pedals or DP, momentary pedals, or you can use the RPU3, which is really nice. It's kind of your traditional 3 pedal unit. Very great. Actually, I love this. Another aspect that's really convenient is that there's a built-in internal switching power supply. So you plug this in anywhere in the world and you just play. You just switch it. Makes it really easy. So you don't have to worry about voltage issues taking this anywhere. Love that. So to summarize the V-Stage is really a turn on and play instrument. It's just perfect for any playing situation, especially playing live. It's just way too easy to operate, and you can get everything you need without any preparation. Just play and tweak. It's really wonderful. From overdriven tone wheel to traditional pipe organs, pristine concert pianos to vintage EPs, whirlies and clavs to killer synth parts, the V-Stage is the most functional and best sounding stage instrument from Roland. And of course you have the 2 models to choose from. You have the 88-note weighted action, more for piano players, and you also have the 76-note waterfall keys. It's more of a synth action, more of an organ action. So if you want to do those riffs, has those really cool waterfall keys that just really make playing a lot of fun. And they look great. They're going to look great on any stage, and they just sound absolutely amazing. So playing keyboards really has never been more fun, rewarding, and simple. The V-Stage is perfect for you and just makes a lot of great sense. If you have any other questions, just feel free to contact your Sweetwater sales engineer.